Hey everyone, it's Dylan from Gunspot, and in this video I'm here for the ArmoryLife.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about this here, the 1911 Mil-Spec air pistol. So like I said, this right here is an air pistol. It shoots BBs that are .177 as far as the caliber goes, and it is a pretty much identical clone to the Springfield Armory Mil-Spec pistol, which is why this one is called the Mil-Spec BB pistol. So there are a lot of similarities and there are a few aesthetic differences, and I'm going to go over that really quick before we get into actually using the pistol. So some of the really quick aesthetic differences is on the air pistol, you're going to actually have vertical slide serrations up on the slide, whereas on the Mil-Spec version we are going to have more of the angled ones. The vertical ones are actually more akin to the original 1911 A1, so I thought it was interesting that that wasn't shared between the two. Another significant aesthetic difference is the ejection port is actually going to be smaller on the air pistol like the original 1911 A1, whereas over on the Mil-Spec pistol, the actual 45 ACP, when we have a larger ejection port. When it comes down to it, those are really the only main aesthetic differences between it. There are some other subtle things like different texture patterns. For example, the air pistol has more of a checkered pattern and the 45 ACP one has some line texturing. And then probably the last difference is you're going to notice this one has some white lettering on the outside, whereas the original, the 45 caliber one, does not. Other than that though, they're pretty much exactly the same spec for spec. They are the same size, they're the same width, they are the same length. All the controls are the same on our air pistol. We still have our safety, of course. We have a hammer. We have the exact same iron sights. They are 3-dot white iron sights. We still have a backstrap safety, and all the safeties work just like you would expect in 1911. You do have to have the backstrap safety disengaged by holding onto it, and of course you do have to have your slide safety down. For all intents and purposes, when you're looking at these two guns side by side, they are really identical, even in their Springfield Armory markings. They're pretty darn close. So a little bit more about just the air pistol. It is a all metal construction. It does have a blowback slide, and the way that it's going to work and shoot is you actually have magazines that have the 12-gram CO2 cartridges in here. Magazines are going to hold 18 BBs, and they are really easy to load. You're able to load these and just pour the BBs up there into this. You're probably going to drop a few if you're like me, but it's really easy to load them in there. And one of those is going to give you about 65 shots before you're going to have to change out that CO2 filter. Again, magazines hold 18 rounds, and you're going to be shooting at a velocity of about 320 feet per second. As you would expect with a BB pistol, the bore is smooth, but it's still accurate. We were able to go out and shoot some pretty tight groups with this from about 10 yards away, so I'm sure those of you that are better shots than me will do just fine. I gotta say, this gun is a lot of fun. We had a blast out on the range just plinking with this thing, which is its primary purpose, of course. This is not going to be a weapon for self-defense. It's a BB pistol, so it's made to get outside and have some fun. This would be a really good gun to teach someone on because it's got all the same controls of a 1911. You're still going to have to deal with a little bit of recoil, but of course it's not going to be as much as 45 ACP, and it's not going to be as loud. But the magazine release and magazines go in the same way. You still have to rack the pistol. All the safety controls are the same. So therefore, I think it would be a really good training tool to go out and get someone who's not used to guns and start kind of working them into and getting them accustomed to shooting. Other than that, it's just a really fun plinking tool and something you can do to get outside and shoot when ammunition is expensive. BBs aren't going to be. Okay, that's it for this video and this look at the Springfield Armory Mil-Spec 1911 A1 air pistol.